Karl Malone is a 14-time All-Star, a 2-time MVP, and the father to 7 kids. It is that last number that proves he is a horrible human being. Because through his wife Kay, Karl is the father to 4 children who he helped raise and accepts responsibility for. As for the other 3 kids, well, when he was just 17 years old, Karl Malone became the father to twins after he got a girl from his hometown named Bonita Ford pregnant. He never spoke to them, provided absolutely no support for a young Bonita Ford who now had 2 kids to take care of, and went as far as publicly stating that they were not his children. Bonita Ford brought Malone to court to request child support payments when Karl began to make millions of dollars a year. Instead of choosing to help support the twins he was a father to, Malone instead fought tooth and nail to deny that these were his children. It was only after a paternity test proved that Malone was the father that he agreed to settle out of court. And in a surprising twist, one of these twins would grow up to become WNBA star Cheryl Ford. He would go on to meet with the twins and attend a few of Cheryl's games. Unfortunately, the same could not be said with the 3rd child he had out of wedlock, because in 1984, a woman by the name of Gloria Bell gave birth to a son named Demetrius. Demetrius would go on to be drafted in the 2008 NFL Draft, proving that Karl Malone did have some incredible genes. Demetrius was also born into this world with a mother who was only 13 years old, proving that Karl Malone was also a complete scumbag. Now, usually I hold back my own personal opinion and do not go too far when criticizing NBA players, but Karl Malone was 20 years old when his 3rd kid was born, which means that as a 20-year-old, he had sex with a 13-year-old and got her pregnant. And while that is disgusting, what's even worse is that Malone completely denied responsibility for the child, and the family only chose to not press charges and get Malone thrown in jail, because if he was in jail, he would not be able to help provide for his son who desperately needed financial help. And because the Bell family did not press criminal charges, you might think that Malone was a little more giving when it came to Demetrius Bell. Nope, Karl Malone refused to even respond to a lawsuit in 1986 that requested Malone pay only $200 a week for Demetrius's upbringing. And then, after a DNA test proved that Malone was indeed the father of Demetrius, a judge ordered Malone to pay $125 a week to the Bell family. A figure that Karl Malone, a man who would make over $100 million throughout his career, said was too much. The Bell family and Karl would eventually settle this with a one-time payment from Malone out of court. But to this day, Karl Malone still denies that he is the father. A very classy move from a man who just oozes class. Number 2.